Peace, peace, peace. So respectability, truly respect, fear. What are we seeking? So when I talk to my children, um, and talk to children that I tutor, and we're talking about writing or speaking to your audience, we talk about the fact that you tell people what you're getting ready to tell them. You tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. So this is the wrap up to this week. So I'm going to tell you what I told you. I'm going to tell you what I told you. The title of this playlist is that um, respectability politics is actually erasure. That it gets rid of us. I've seen a couple posts on Instagram talking about people who are talking about the I can hear my son, the no makeup life, and someone posted something about, well, here's one for men about looking professional. I'm not saying people shouldn't look professional, meaning that your clothes are clean, that you know what atmosphere you're in, you know who you're dressing for. But there are clothes that reflect me in my culture, in my person, that, excuse me, that there's something I could wear that reflects me when I want to party, something I wear that reflects me when I want to chill, something I can wear that reflects me when I want to be polished, something I can wear that reflects me when I don't know, I'm going to a cookout. Like there's so many representations of me that I don't have to pick someone else's interpretation for all of those various spaces. So just sharing what we already talked about, or just a reminder and a recentering, is that there really is no self-respect and respectability politics. It is looking outside of yourself, hoping that someone else will approve of how you are presenting yourself, and hoping that they will be not threatened, and that they will be pleased and at ease that you look like them, that you speak like them, that you think like them. So there's no respect of this, there's no self respect in that space. Um, and then when we talk about respect, whose respect are we seeking? And is it really respect? Um, if we're looking outside of ourselves, this is not, we're looking outside of ourselves as people who would ask us to change and twist ourselves into knots to make them comfortable. That is not, that's not respect. That's coercion. That's assimilation. That's not respect. And then, of course, the motivator is fear. It's not respect. It's fear of missing out. It's fear of being harmed. It's all the fears that we associate with being our authentic selves. Who will it threaten? Who will it scare? How will they try and rectify their fears, their insecurities, their whatever it is on our person, on our bodies, on our mind, on our existence, on our identity? So it's not respect. We are fearful. We are trying to avoid some sort of penalty of not having resources, of not having opportunities, of not having life. Um, and what we really want is self-respect. And along with that self-respect, we want communal interdependence, respect for each other. And that can only happen if each person in here and in here is able to say, I know myself. I know what's not me. Because sometimes it takes getting rid of things that you've been told for so long. This is what you ought to be. This is what you should have. This is how you ought to represent. And once you can peel those things off, and you can really like go, but this is me. This feels good. This I actually like. Once we can, each of us can actually know who this is, that I know who Adia is, then I can come to you and respect you, because the thing that we tell our children and that we tell other people is that you must give respect to earn respect. So there's a reciprocal arrangement. It is, I am giving to you the respect that I expect to have. And so I'm not giving it to you expecting anything, but I'm respecting you, knowing that I deserve respect and all things around me deserve respect. All things and people and spaces deserve respect. So this is, I'm entering into a divine reciprocal arrangement. I respect you in the full understanding that you, being of whole mind, soul, and body, would offer respect right back. So we want to be in that space. And only when we can do those things can we actually start helping our children find their own sense of selves and choose themselves and respect themselves. And it is not that all of us who are seeking to give our children representation and reflection and self esteem and self worth, that we're always trump tight or 100% on our own. But once we are moving in the direction of what self respect, self worth, understanding of self looks like for us, we can send them in that direction. We can surround them with the communities, the education, the elders, the friends, the resources that are necessary for them to look at themselves and say, huh, that's me. I'm dope. And all these other people around me are magnificent too. And there's nothing about me that is a detraction. I am magnificent. And I can share this magnificence with other people and I can receive theirs. I was talking to one of my sister friends, and we've educated and raised our children alongside each other. And they are the older ones of those are headed out into the world. And I hear how they speak and how they think of themselves, and how when they see the bull that is like, oh, but you're less than, oh, but you look like, oh, but you sound like, oh, but you can't be, or your name is this, or they call it, they move beyond it, they look for the other opportunities, they create their own. They are doing that. And when we are moving in the direction of doing that for ourselves, and we create spaces for our children where they can do that, that giving to them is automatically reciprocal because they give it right back, not on purpose, not mama, I owe you because you helped me understand that I'm an African man or woman and I'm magnificent just as I am. Just because they radiate, they give it back. Just because they move in that knowledge, they give it back. Just because they're in spaces that are giving them resources and ideas and rituals and ways to conduct themselves, they share it with us. And we have the opportunity, if we are as a little child with our mind open and receiving, ready to receive, we have the opportunity to learn, if not for the first time, but to be reminded of exactly who we are. And then we want to make sure that we are creating our own. So we look at there's a lot of Black businesses, and there's a lot of Black businesses working to exist and survive. And so, as often as we can, of course, choosing Black businesses, choosing to spend our Black dollar with Black businesses, but spending money won't take care of all of it. We have to make sure that we are interconnected. We have to make sure that our communities are tight. We have to make sure that our communities provide space for each other, even when it's difficult, even when it's not pretty, even when the outcome may not be what everybody thinks should be the correct outcome, but making space for each of us to be able to grow, to be able to celebrate, to be able to heal, to be able to hurt, all of those things, that we can be complete human beings with each other, that we can make known our needs without shame, that we can celebrate our wins without fear that someone would feel the need to compete with it or to denigrate it, or that their lack would then shine poorly on our gain. We have to make space for each other. And all of these things lead to a completely different paradigm. What often happens, unfortunately, is that as we are looking to create our own spaces, we are still using the template of the spaces and places that we live in. So we use the same template of competition instead of cooperation. We use the same template of um, use the same template of capitalism and see who can make the most money and still by taking advantage of other people, as opposed to looking at, I'm not in any way advocating for poor righteous teachers, but as opposed to looking at raising the whole, as sharing resources, as everyone growing, as being excellent in making whatever we make and sharing whatever we share and demanding our worth for those things that are being shared. We do not want to cover a Western or a European framework in kente fabric and say, ta da, because the fabric will wear, it will fall off. And the same things that have caused us difficulty and pain and discouragement and have slowed us down will still slow us down, dressed in batik, dressed in ashoke, dressed in kente, dressed in all these marvelous, beautiful ways that we adorn ourselves, if what's underneath is still not us. So we're moving from the inside to the out. It's a cartoon my children have seen some years ago. And one of the characters said, "Can I move into the out now?" But moving from the inside of us, making sure that we are whole and healthy, that all this stuff has been pumped into us, especially as adults, that we are getting that out, that we are dredging ourselves to get those things out so that we can give to the children and each other around us, to other adults, to other children, and that as we earnestly and honestly give to these children and allow them to grow unfettered, they will give back. They will give back to their communities, they will give back to their families. It's impossible for that not to happen. That is the natural order. When you allow a plant to grow, that plant grows, the bees pollinate it, that plant grows fruit, the animals eat the fruit, the animals poop out the seeds, and the whole process starts again. So when everyone is doing everything that we are called to do, there is nothing you can do except enrich each other. That's it. We give each other space to grow. We become exactly what we were divinely called to be. And we are in this beautiful spiritual and physical ecosystem where we all cause each other to thrive. So I want you to consider those things as you move forward, and I will see you tomorrow. I am so delighted to be sharing with you and delighted to be shared with. All the comments don't always end up underneath the video. Sometimes the comments come directly to me. So, and I'm blessed that you are being blessed. Um, that is a blessing to me. So again, let me know. I have not done any breathing exercises or yoga in a little bit, but if you feel like it would be a benefit, send me a note. Let me know. And this is the Reverend Okomfo, Mwalimu Yogi, Sister Mama Adia, saying peace, and for everyone anticipating this snow, stay warm. Talk to you soon.